Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. It is currently 6:45 p.m. on July 27th. I'm already in my pajamas because I leave for Europe tomorrow. So by the time this video is posted, I will be in Europe, which I'm super excited for. We are going to start in Paris, in France. I'm sure I'll be in France by the time this is posted. We're doing France and then Nice. And then from Nice, we're going to Italy and staying in Saint-Therese. So I'll be somewhere around France or Italy by the time this video is posted. So I have to film it now because my sister will post this for me. And then I'll have another video out mid-August that was pre-recorded. And then I will make a Europe video when I get back. But in this video, I'm just going to do my June-July wrap-up because I didn't do my June wrap-up, and I might as well just do my July one. I know it's still early. I just wanted to put it all together because I read 3 books in June, and then in July, how many books have I read so far? I've read 4. Since it's only July 27th and I have the longest travel day of all time tomorrow, it's gonna be a long travel day. So I guarantee I'll finish another book or 2 or 3 in that time, but I'm just gonna do like where I'm at right now because that's all I can do. In June, I read 3 books. June was a busy month with report cards and start of summer, and it was just busy, but I read 3 really good books. Started June off with The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden. I gave this book 5 stars, and so I'm looking, I have like my little monthly reads on my Booktok that I post, and I have it on my little highlights so you can see what books I read each month, but I'm just gonna go over them, and that's what I'm looking off right now. So first, The Wife Upstairs by Frida McFadden. This book, I'm telling you right now, was a play-by-play of Verity. Like, truly was. Like, it started, I know that some people on my Booktok were saying, how come yours started this way? For me, it started this way. I'm wondering if she changed the beginning because of how similar the beginning was to Verity. Like, someone gets hit by a car in front of our main character before she goes and gets hired for a job. It's literally Verity. But anyways, it was almost like a knockoff Verity, but like better. The ending doesn't leave you questioning what's true. You have a solid answer at the end, which I love, but it's I can't really even give it a description because it was Verity, but better. I really enjoyed it. Next book I read was The Whispers, which I had partnered with Penguin Random House to do a video on this one, so I read it, and this was by Ashley Audrain, and I really loved her other book, The Push. So this book was good. It was a bit slower than The Push, but it was very intriguing, and it followed some housewives in the same neighborhood and talks about their struggles, but like the main struggle that goes on is between one mother whose son falls out of a window and is in a coma, and the truth is kind of comes out at the end of what actually happened to him. It was pretty good. I gave it a 3.5 star rating. The third book I read in June was Appetite for Innocence by Lucinda Berry. I have said this 100 times at this point, but like so far that book I'm pretty sure is going to be my favorite book of 2023. I loved it. 5 stars. Lucinda Berry is one of my new favorite authors. I cannot recommend her books enough. They're so good. Appetite for Innocence basically follows the story of a girl who is kidnapped by a serial kidnapper rapist who targets virgins, and she was a virgin. He kidnapped her, and there's other girls there, and they have said like that they know of no one has ever escaped, but she starts to wonder and plan how she'll escape. This book is very disturbing and dark, and major trigger warnings for this one. Any Lucinda Berry book, just go in, DM me, ask me the trigger warnings, look them up. I have them on my Booktok. There's many trigger warnings for Lucinda Berry books, but I devour them. I love dark books. Okay, those are the 3 books I read in June. In July, I've read 4 books so far. The first book I read was Look Closer by David Ellis. This book follows how do I even describe this book? The washer's really loud. I almost have to look back. I made a video about how I cannot remember books, but especially books where I'm like, what actually, I didn't like this book, what happened in it. Let me look at my description of it. I said, Vicky and Simon are a normal couple. He's a lawyer. She's an advocate for domestic violence victims. However, nothing is truly what it seems, and one of them might be a killer. Through the web of greed lies a $20 million trust fund and a woman found dead in her home. Their secret of who is conning who might just become revealed. This book was so hyped up by some other people on Booktok, and I found it dragged. It was long, but it dragged. 2.5 stars. I just don't it's way overhyped in my opinion, and if you loved it, please tell me why. I feel like I need to know. Okay, didn't love it. The next book I read this month in July, The Perfect Son by Frida McFadden. We read this one for our book club. This one was really good. It kind of gave Saving Noah vibes by Lucinda Berry, but on a way like more surface level. Like it was nowhere near as like dark and twisted. And basically in this book we have a son who, again, like the perfect son, kind of as the title says, and the mother always kind of thought like he was a little odd, like he did some weird things, like they're part of a normal family, but then one day the police show up at their door to question her son about a murder of a girl his age, and he was the last one to see her alive. The mom has seen a dark part of her son, so she doesn't want to expect the worst, but like things kind of line up. So that book was shocking for me. The twist was very unexpected. Some people in my book club found it predictable, but I didn't until the end. Did I? Oh no, I said it didn't get a full 5 stars because I predicted the ending. But there were some questions left unanswered for me. Like I feel like there were so many odds and ends that just weren't explained well enough. So this book got 4.5 stars from me. Okay, the next book I read was Still Missing by Chevy Stevens. My sister really recommended this one to me because I love kidnapping books. And I started to like sit down because once I realized like I love kidnapping books, that was my biggest fear as a child. So I'm like, but I feel like there's like some connection there, like my biggest fear, and now I'm obsessed with reading about it. This book is about a woman. She's a real estate agent. She's 32 years old. Her name's Annie. There's one day she's about to close this huge deal on this house, but then she gets abducted. So it kind of goes through her year in captivity with the guy whom she calls the Freak. She recounts this, but she's like, the way she tells this story is to her therapist, which it's like she's talking to us, the audience, who are the therapists. Like I really love the way this book was told. And so yeah, she's basically just sitting down talking about her experience being abducted and her life now that she's out and how to live a normal life again. This book was 4 stars. And I think that was just because the ending was a little bit of a mess that I didn't love. There could have been a better ending in my opinion, but other than that, I found this book great, super good, hard to put down. The next book I read was Hey, Good Luck Out There. I read this as a paper book, as like a paperback, a physical copy. I started this at the beginning of July, but like I'm so obsessed with my Kindle that it's hard to read physical books. So it took me so long to read, but I finished it like last week, beginning of this week. And basically what this book is about a girl. She's 22 years old, and it kind of tells her story throughout rehab, and then she's out into the real world where she kind of struggles to get back on her feet, make friends, get a job, find a place to live. Dark humor. Oh, and something really interesting about this book, no chapters, just all the way through, no stops. So I would just end at a period on the last page of the right side of my book because I'm like, okay, start fresh on the next page. Again, the reason I didn't like this book, like I was like, it's supposed to be a little bit like funny, but I didn't really find it funny. I more found it like anxiety inducing and depressing. So I didn't have that experience, and I found it just, I wanted it to be over, and so I rated it 2.5 stars. What I'm currently reading right now and I'm really enjoying is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. I think it's released now, but I got it as an ARC off NetGalley, which was super exciting. I love Lisa Jewell, so that's what I'm reading now, and I have a whole bunch of great books lined up for my trip on my Kindle. So I can't wait to talk about all of them. And honestly, I'll be reading a few more books throughout the rest of July after this, well, before this video is posted. So if you want to know what books those might be, follow me on my Booksta, my Booktok, at Pages of Books. I will be posting a lot of Europe content directly on there in real time. Yeah, that's my June, July wrap up, and thank you for watching, and have a great August. And can't wait to post a Europe YouTube video at the end of the month. Bye guys.